Hello, and welcome to another Dokkan battle video. The cord has already disconnected, isn't that just fantastic? Anyway, in this video we're going to be showcasing 100% full level 10 links EZA STR NAMEK GOKU. Now, this guy is a really controversial unit because a lot of people don't like his EZA like at all. They think he's just not good enough, solely because when he is in Super Saiyan form he relies heavily on RNG. I however think he's still pretty solid. I feel like he can be really useful in a lot of EZAs and a lot of red zone stages, provided that he does get that guard activated. Because once he has that guard active and you're below 77% HP when you're in Super Saiyan form, he ends up being really solid and ends up being pretty tanky. This is kind of like the build that I went for him in terms of his equipment. Mainly it's just like raw defense. If anything, I would want to switch this 5 dodge into a 5 additional. Again, he is full level 10 links. So I got 15 additional 12 dodge. I feel like that's fine, considering this is what his job is to do, is basically to sit there and eat hits. Again, remember, just full level 10 links. I'm gonna go ahead and hop into a quick Dokkan event stage real quick, just to show off what this guy can look like in there with his team, and then we're gonna go into a 200% lead and just kind of really show off kind of like a bit of his stacking in terms of defense, hopefully. And we should be able to see some pretty decent numbers from this guy because he can actually hit rather hard. Anyway, I'll see you guys once we're in the stage. Alright, so we are back in the stage, and of course every single character that I wanted to pair up Goku with is in a different rotation, so we're not going to be able to see the best attack stats for right now, but at the very least we will be able to get one hit in with a little bit of support just to see what his attack stats are going to look like. This guy in base form and in Super Saiyan can actually hit rather hard. I know he doesn't have the most impressive attack stats. He ranges around like the 8 million level, like, so he's not the craziest in terms of damage dealing because he doesn't have like any built-in crit or additional really. He does have a little bit of it when he actually transforms, but it's like not something that you're actually going to be able to rely on. So he really just has his base stats. Again, like you can see here, the units that I wanted to run him, but they're just not here. So that's great. Love that. But we are also using the Goku family support memory here, so he is going to look a little stronger than he normally would, but that's just because I'm trying to basically wank him off to make him look as best as possible. Hopefully us being in the middle cooler stage will allow us to actually get a few more turns in, because this second fight there is a lot of enemies, so hopefully these characters don't go too crazy and I'm killing a lot of them. That way we can actually get a few more turns of Namek Goku. I personally like him a lot. I think while he does have his problems in terms of being really RNG related, I feel like he still serves the purpose that we wanted him to, where he is still probably the best linking partner with any of like the base Super Saiyan Gokus, because he can link up with just regular Gokus as well as Super Saiyan Goku and have like pretty much the exact same link set. He does have a few links that are different, but for the most part he has a very similar link set, and the cord has disconnected for the 3rd time today. Isn't this just fantastic? Gotta love the cord. Alright, so let's see. He has 3 out of 7 links with Namek Goku, the int one. How many links does he get active with? He gets Z Fighter. So let's see. Okay, 280 with a support memory and a little bit of a support active. That's not bad. Remember, he is not fully built up yet. He still can get hit one more time for a big jump in his defense, as well as him also giving 30% attacking defense to the entire rotation when he super attacks. So that he still has that in his back pocket. I am going to put him here just to guarantee that we will get the attack, the additional bump, just in case we won't be able to transform. I highly doubt we're going to transform within this stage. This Dokkan event is way too old for us to be able to do that in, but I will transform with him when we get into like a longer event. Like hopefully the Legendary Vegeta event, he'll super attack the wrong person and just take us down a little bit. That way we can actually get that transformation in, because that is an issue that I've found, because he is on a lot of teams that have really good defensive characters, so it ends up being a little difficult to actually transform sometimes, which I guess in the return means that on his teams the cord disconnects again, that you'll be able to actually transform pretty often with Tech Gogeta, so at the very least you'll be able to get that. If this cord disconnects one more time, I swear. So now we got him linked up with the Bird Coup. I believe they share, again, just the same links. this Goku is going to be able to get fully built up immediately, while also getting a little bit of support from the physical Ginyu Force. His team is basically Planet Namek Saga and Super Saiyans, so while you would want to build more towards the Super Saiyan angle, having like these additional little Planet Namek Saga characters will be a little beneficial. Like for instance, the 6.4, that's not bad. And you got, of course, the free-to-play Ginyu LRs, the entire summonable Ginyu Force characters that came out, as well as the Vegeta exchange and the Goku, and then Krillin and Gohan. I feel like those will all be solid options on this team. So while I don't think he is like the optimal Planet Namek Saga leader, he is definitely a solid one. I feel like he would definitely work better than something like AGL Ginyu or AGL Final Form or Full Power Frieza. He definitely fits better in the team than they do, unless you're running like an extreme class team. So having the options of basically 3 different Planet Namek Saga leaders is rather helpful. Anyway, I am going to jump into the Legendary Vegeta event real quick, hopefully get his transformation, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so it's still proving to be very, very difficult to actually get him to transform. Once again, we do have this very good rotation where he has all 7 links active. I do also want to mention that I do have the Planet Namek Saga buffing support item active, or memory active, which gives him, I believe, an additional 15% attack and defense. So he is looking a little bit better here than he normally would. So I am like, kind of cheating, but that is something that you will have to take into account with characters like this, that they have access to these really, really strong support memories. And that is always a plus for characters. It's never a negative, because if a character has access to one of these massively buffing, like permanent support memory buffs, then you will always be able to find value in them on those teams, because that just makes like your overall stat pool a lot higher. Basically just allows you to do a lot more damage and take a lot better in a lot more events. So on a team with this guy, you can run basically a full Planet Namek Saga team, like super team, with that support memory open. They will perform very, very well. Even someone like in Namek Goku, like, see, that was basically a 9 million attack stat. Now he is getting support from the support memory as well as STR Ultimate Gohan, so that isn't like a true like just raw damage attacks. That is a mistake. I did not mean to do that. Well, let's just hope Roshi doesn't die. I did bring Roshi here just because he gives the Turtle School support, and that's about it. He was basically the unit I wanted to get super attacked earlier on, so that way we can take damage, but it really never happened. Like, things have not gone well to the point where I wanted to like super early and actually build up his defense, which is the main problem I've been having with this guy. In a lot of hard events, I haven't been able to actually build up any defense early on and get into a Super Saiyan state, because it just never seems to actually work out for me. Which I guess could be a genuine problem if you're like trying to use him in like the red zone, especially red zone Broly, because he does get kind of shit on in that event, because Broly being in the AGL extreme class unit does extreme damage to him, so it's going to be really difficult for him to tank if he's not guarding in Super Saiyan's form with like his 77% additional defense active plus a bunch of stacks. It doesn't end up getting a little challenging in there. He can still make it work even when he's not Super Saiyan. I've shown it off before in the red zone video for him. Like, he definitely can work. We healed from the Dokkan attack anyway, so it didn't matter. Like, this is just like it's been rough. I'm probably just gonna go into like Omega or something and get him to transform, because this is getting to be kind of ridiculous. He also does look very well with Tech Ultimate Gohan, which, you know, we'll take it. He does have all in the family with him. That is like the main problem I have with this guy. It's just sometimes it can be very, very difficult to transform when you actually want him to, and he always ends up transforming when you don't want him to. Like, I always feel like he gets super attacked more when before he gets built up than after he's built up, because it just always ends up like that for me. So I just end up having base Namek Goku for the entire like event, and it's always just lackluster. 6.9 is pretty good though. Like, I'll definitely take that. That's a good attack stat without like any offensive support besides just the support memory. Like, that's pretty all right. This is where we're probably gonna end up taking damage. Ah, the Roshi. We can do Roshi's active skill. I haven't seen that in forever. You know what? Might as well, right? Actually, I don't think I actually will. Are we gonna die here? I think if STR Ultimate Gohan or Roshi gets super attacked, we're probably just dead. But hey, oh, never mind. I'm hoping that STR Ultimate Gohan is just not guarding right now. That way we can take damage and actually see Namek Goku transform for at least once in this fight. We did get some decent attack stats though. Definitely, if he doesn't transform here, I'm definitely gonna go into like, I guess Omega would be the choice. Get him to transform and then see where things go from there. Like probably not do like a full run, just like a little bit of just, hey, here he is, he's transformed, this is how he tanks, kind of thing. We can kind of just end the video there. Come on, STR Ultimate Gohan, stop raising your defense, please. Thank you. And he's guarding, great. He always guards whenever like I don't want him to. Roshi should still take some damage here. This is just going kind of bad in terms of like a showcase. It seems like every time I want to record a video on this guy, he always like disappoints me by doing this and not actually transforming and being super cool and then becoming the Super Saiyan form. Like, that's just what I want to see it. I want to see him go Super Saiyan and do cool things in Super Saiyan. I just can't get him to transform. I don't know, I guess it's a skill difference. He's just too good. I don't know. Team too good, he's too good. Something is just too good and I just can't do it. Maybe it's just maybe it is just a skill difference. Maybe if I was a worse player at the game, maybe he would transform. It's just, for some reason, I can't ever get him to transform. And since we probably didn't get it on this turn, like Vegeta's gonna die before we come back to this rotation anyway. Double super, that's pretty good. That's double attack buff for him and the character next up. Anyway, like I'll cut when I'm when I'm back in the red zone probably in Omega with him transforming. It's probably gonna take a little bit, so I really hope I actually do it in today's red zone attempts. If not, it's gonna be really, really sad. Anyway, I'll be right back. Alright, so we actually were able to get it. However, if you see, we are very, very low. We're probably a lot lower than we would actually like to be, so I am going to go ahead and pop a Sensu Bean real quick. That's because being that low is not something that I really want to be dealing with, and gambling on his guard in slot 1 is also kind of lame. So just gonna use that just so that we can actually get a decent amount of turns with this guy transformed for the showcase. This did not take nearly as long as I thought it would. It actually was the first try. We did nearly revive, but we didn't, so we're good. It's all good. Everything's fine. If we did revive, I don't know if I would put on the music or not, just because my cord is making it so that the audio is a little staticky. I'm pretty sure you guys can hear that, so I didn't want to like ruin your guys' eardrums with that. One thing that is kind of useful is that he does still like lower attack in Super Saiyan from the super attack effect, which can be useful in this stage in particular, because this first fight can last for a while depending on your RNG. So you do have that to really think about. Okay. So that is something that is useful. I know a lot of people were saying that it's useless and that he shouldn't really get like debuffs after he transforms, because in most instances it's really not going to do much of anything, which I agree with. However, in an event like Omega, where you're going to be in Super Saiyan really, really early on a phase that does last a decent amount of time, you actually can make use of that attack debuff, and to a really good effect, because this Omega hits really hard, and being able to do all this like debuffing to him is something that like is really handy if you're trying to beat him for the first time. So I will say that it is at least useful somewhere. Evolution Blue Vegeta, this is not your showcase. Can you stop super attacking, please? Thank you. But yeah, that is something that is good. I don't know how high we're going to be able to get his defense to in this event, because while this event is hard, it doesn't last too long because Omega doesn't have the highest health pool ever, so that is something to think about. Oh, we are going to have the rotation I want, unless he gets locked in slot 3. Please don't. Please don't tell me. Oh my. No. We're just no. We're saying no. Just no. No. 260. Okay. 280 next to Bird Coup. How many links is this? 5. What do we lose? Do we lose anything? No, we don't actually. Okay. So we can't put him in slot 1. I don't know what this is going to look like. He does have his bonus attack, I believe. So this is going to be a decent attack set. He is not guarding, so this is going to do damage. Gotta love that 30% chance to guard, right? How much? Nice, wonderful. Dodged the wrong attack. 7 million though. We'll take that. Now, I'm not sure if it activates mid-turn, but if it does, that additional defense when he's under 77% HP should have activated. And if so, that would have greatly buffed up his defense. We may be able to see that here. I'm not entirely sure. We're gonna have to wait and find out. We do want to make sure that Evolution Blue Vegeta at the end can super attack. I feel like if I do this, it should fall the way I want. Yeah. There we go. This team is very good for difficult events because you have so many defensive characters here. Like, you basically have options in terms of who you want to revive and when you want it to happen. Granted, Bird Coups is probably the one you're going to be getting the most often because it's so easy to get. Though the Vegeta exchange to Goku is also another one that I feel like you're really going to want to look for if you're running this team and that unit. You also do have AGL UIs, in Evolution Blue Vegeta's, Future Gohan and Trunks' revive. Though, if you're gonna run Future Gohan and Trunks, you really do want them to be the one to die, because Future Gohan without the revive is really bad. So, yeah, definitely try to make sure that they're the one dying if you are running them. Otherwise, probably just don't run them at all, is what I would say. Oh, definitely gonna put the friend one up front. So we are not going to be able to see if he's guarding on this turn, which, again, lame, but it is a thing that happens and how you're going to want to deal with this guy. I do just want to kind of see how high he can get his defense before getting to that, the nuke phase where Omega will just straight up kill you. Because I do feel like that if this guy has his guard active plus that additional defense, with enough stacks, I feel like he could actually eat that Omega super attack. I really would like to see that. 7.2, that's good. And if he does, you best believe I'm putting that in the front of the video. Holy. But, additional? Ah, no, there's just Bird Coup. I believe mine hasn't gotten hit a single time. So, this is probably still going to do some damage. Yeah. Another thing that is good about this guy is if you are able to get the rage on a turn in which, like, you would be getting hit by Omega's like nuke super attack, you can just completely get rid of the nuke and delay it for another 2 turns, basically for free. So that is just a really helpful thing. Rage modes aren't the craziest ever because they don't really do too much damage, nor do they really help in any way, but that is like the one usage that I feel like is good with them. You can just completely say no to a really big super attack, especially if you know when it's coming. We are getting hit for a lot of damage, but anyway, like that is something that is important to remember. Like with this guy, AGL Cell, LR Janemba is another character that has that active skill rage that are actually like usable characters. Oh, and we're dead anyway, so we won't even get to see that. Anyway, like, this video is a flop, but I still feel like we got to see at least a little bit of what that Goku can look like. Granted, I would have loved to see a little bit more of him maybe his active skill even, but it's fine. It's fine. I think we've seen enough. There's so many videos out there on him. Anyway, that's been this guy. Let me know how you guys feel about him in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.